Hello, how are you students? I hope you all are fine. Today we read the 5th chapter for 9th class, that is from the book Moment. Okay, and the name of the chapter is The Happy Prince. Okay, this is the 5th one chapter from your book Moment, and the writer of this poem or this lesson, Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde. Okay, and in this poem here is a prince, that is Happy Prince was a beautiful statue. Okay, here is a statue and that is that statue for prince. Okay, and that prince was very happy. The name of that prince is Happy Prince. Okay, he was covered with gold, that statue covered with gold, and he had sapphires for eyes. Sapphires means जो मतलब एक प्रीसियस स्टोन होते हैं ना, जो हम जैसे हम बोलते हैं नील का, ठीक है, रूबी स्टोन सेम। तो जो उसकी आंखें हैं उनमें वो बहुत ज़्यादा कॉस्टली और प्रीसियस स्टोन लगे हैं, दैट इज द स्पायर्स फॉर आईज एंड ए रूबी इन हिज स्वॉर्ड। स्वॉर्ड मीन्स उसकी जो तलवार है उसमें ओके रूबी लगे हैं। रूबी इज ऑल्सो ए प्रीसियस स्टोन। Why did he want to part with all the gold that he had and his precious stones? Now here the question, why did he want to part? Okay, कि वो सारी चीजें, all that things उसकी बॉडी पे क्यों है? That statue, the name of that statue is the Happy Prince. So now here today we read this chapter and then after I explain to you this one by one. Okay, so now here the first line, that is, high above the city on a tall column stood the statue of the Happy Prince. High of the city means city के काफ़ी ऊंचाई पर, height जो city की height है सबसे ऊपर, that height above the city on a tall column, there is a column, and that column there was stood a statue, that is Happy Prince. The statue of there is Happy Prince. He was glided all over with thin lips of fine gold for eyes. He had two bright spears and a large red ruby glowed on his short hilt. Okay, then उसकी जो बॉडी है दैट कवर्ड विद गोल्ड, ओके, एंड टू ब्राइट स्पायर्स फॉर हिज आईज and the red ruby glowed on his short hilt. Then one night, okay, one night there flew over the city a little swallow. Swallow is the name of a bird, okay, that flew over on that city on that night. Okay, one night his friends had gone away. Whose friends? That swallow friends, that bird's friends had gone away to where? To Egypt. Okay, 6 weeks before 6 weeks before the swallow friends had gone away to Egypt. Okay, what he had stayed behind, but that swallow stay behind there on that city. Then he decided to go to Egypt too, and that swallow also decided to go Egypt too. All day long he flew and at night time he arrived at the city. Okay, all day means full day that swallow flew, and at night time that swallow arrived at the city. Where shall I put up? He said. I hope the town has made preparations. Okay, now here that swallow said, where shall I put up? I means the hope. She hoped that the town has made preparation for something. Then he saw the statue on the tall column. He means that swallow saw the statue on the tall column. I will put up there, he cried, that swallow cried, बहुत जोर से मतलब कि वो अपने आप में चिल्लाए, and I put up there, ओके उसने सोचा कि मैं वहां पर उस स्टैचू के ऊपर रहूंगी. It is a fine position with plenty of fresh air. That statue is the fine position for that swallow with plenty of fresh air. So he alighted means happy, just between the feet of the happy prince. Okay, then that swallow alighted just between the feet of the happy prince. I have a golden bedroom. Okay, now on that time that swallow realized that she had a golden bedroom because the body of that statue covered with gold. So that's why swallow said that I have a golden bedroom. He said softly to himself as he looked round, and he prepared to go to sleep. Okay, and then that swallow himself said to himself very softly and prepared to go to sleep. Okay, but just as he was putting his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. Okay, on that time when that swallow put his head under his wing like this, so on that time a drop of water, clear, fell down on his body, clear. So what a crucious things. Okay, on that time he cried, that swallow cried, what a crucious things. There is not a single cloud in the sky. There is not a single cloud means वहां पर बादल के कोई नामो निशान नहीं है. Then from where it water come? The stars are quite clear and bright. The sky is clear and the stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it is raining. और फिर भी यहाँ बारिश हो रही है. How it is possible? Then another drop fell. Then again another drop fell. Okay. What is the use of a statue if it cannot keep the rain off? He said. That swallow said, what is the use of statue? It cannot keep the rain off. मतलब इस स्टैचू का क्या फायदा अगर ये बारिश को भी मेरे को कवर न कर सके. Then I must look for a good chimney pot, and he determined to fly away. But before he had opened his wing, a third drop fell, and he looked up and saw, what did he see? Okay, then that swallow must look for a good chimney pot, chimney pot, वहां से, and he want to fly away from there. But before he had opened his wings, means जैसे उसने अपनी wings में अपनी जो उसके पंख हैं उसमें अपने अपनी बॉडी को कवर करके रखा था सोने के लिए, उनको जैसे ही उसने हटाया, open that wings, a third drop from the water fell down, and he looked up. That swallow looked up and saw. What he saw? He saw, what did he see? उसने क्या देखा? He saw the eyes of the happy prince were filled with tears. Okay, the eyes of the happy prince means कि जो happy prince है उसकी आंखें पानी से आंसुओं से भरी हैं, and tears were running down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. Okay, so here then again that swallow saw that the eyes of the happy prince were filled with tears, and the tears were running down. Okay, that tears were running down his golden cheeks. वो हैप्पी प्रिंस के चिक्स में वो आंसू आ रहे हैं. एंड हिज फेस वॉज सो ब्यूटिफुल एंड द face of that happy prince looked very beautiful on that moonlight, and the little swallow was filled with pity. On that why the जो little swallow है उसका जो दिल है वो दया से भर गया. वो उस पर pity means filled with pity means दया से भर गया. Who are you? He said. That swallow said, who are you? I am the happy prince. That statue said, I am the happy prince. Okay. Then why are you weeping then? Okay. Then again that swallow said, asked to that happy prince, why are you weeping then? Okay. Asked the swallow, you have quite drenched me. Okay. You have quite drenched me. Then when I was alive and had a human heart, on that case, prince, that happy prince answered to him, when I was alive and had a human heart, कि जब मैं जिंदा था मतलब मुझ में लाइफ थी और मेरे पास ह्यूमन हार्ट था, on that time answered the statue, that answered by statue, I did not know what tears were. On that time I did not know. When I was alive, when that prince was alive, on that time he did not know what tears were, कि आंसू क्या होते थे. For I lived in the palace महल, where sorrow is not allowed to enter. Okay, जहाँ पर दुख को एंटर होने की वो जो महल था, वो जो पैलेस था, वहाँ पर sorrow is not allowed to enter. My courtier called me the happy prince and happy indeed I was. Okay, मेरे जितने भी courtier means वहाँ के जो दरबारी थे, courtier means जो दरबारी थे, उसके पैलेस के जो दरबारी थे वो लोग उसको हैप्पी प्रिंस कहते थे और मैं सचमुच में बहुत हैप्पी था. ओके, खुश था. सो आई लिव्ड एंड सो आई डाइड एंड नाउ दैट आई एम डेड, बट नाउ and this time I am dead. Who? That prince, happy prince, dead. They have set me up here so high that I can see the ugliness and all the misery of my city. Okay, but now I am dead and that prince was dead, and the statue of that prince was set up high on the city. Clear? And why? Because that I can now, in this time after his death, he saw the ugliness and all the misery of my city. Clear? And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose what be. And now in this time my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose बट भी मतलब बट अब मैं मतलब इस सिटी की जो अगलीनेस है, जो वहाँ पर दुख है, जो वहाँ पर बुरा काम हो रहा है, उसको देख सकता हूँ और उनकी हेल्प नहीं कर सकता. ओके, व्हाट इज ही नॉट सॉलिड गोल्ड. नाउ हियर व्हाट मीन्स क्या. दैट स्वेलो रिस्पॉन्स वेरी सरप्राइजिंगली, व्हाट तेरे ही है. व्हाट इज ही नॉट सॉलिड गोल्ड मीन्स ये एक सॉलिड गोल्ड नहीं है. सेड द स्वेलो टू हिमसेल्फ. ओके, ही वॉज टू पोलाइट टू मेक एनी पर्सनल रिमार्क्स. ही वॉज, दैट स्वेलो वॉज टू पोलाइट, वेरी पोलाइट टू मेक एनी पर्सनल रिमार्क्स. ओके, फॉर अवे continued. Far away continued the statue in a low musical voice. Far away in a little street there is a poor house. Okay, far away. Then Continue the statue in a low musical voice. Low musical voice means very slowly. Okay, that prince said very slowly, far away in a little street there is a poor house. One of the window is face is thin and worn, and she has cords, red hands, all pricked by the needle, for she is a seamstresses. She is seamstresses मतलब जो कढ़ाई बुनाई कर कर अपना गुजारा करती है, मतलब नॉट ए टेलर बट जो कढ़ाई भी करते हैं, सिलाई भी करती है, बुनाई भी करते हैं, ओके, उनको कहा जाता है. सो हियर दैट स्टैचू कंटिन्यू मीन्स दैट स्टैचू उसको बोल रहा है टू स्वेलो को कि फॉर अवे ए लिटिल स्ट्रीट मीन्स इस गली में जाओ, देयर इज ए पुअर हाउस, वहां पर देयर इज अ पुअर हाउस एंड one of the window is open. Here open the one window and through it I can see a woman. Okay, that see a woman, that prince see a woman, and that woman seated at a table. Okay, and her face is thin and worn, मतलब उसका जो चेहरा है वो बहुत पतला है and worn, and she has a cords. Cords मतलब कि वो बहुत दुखी, sad. Okay, क्लियर. हर रेड हैंड्स, उसके जो हैंड हैं वो रेड हो चुके हैं. क्लियर. ऑल प्रिक्ड बाय द नीडल, बिकॉज जो वो सुई के साथ जो वो सिलाई कर रही है उससे उसके पूरे हैंड जो हैं वो रेड हो चुके हैं, बिकॉज दैट प्रिक्ड बाय द नीडल, वो जो नीडल है, सुई है, वो उसके हाथों में चुभ रही है. फॉर शी इज ए सीमस्ट्रेस, मतलब कि उसने एक ड्रेस है जो पूरी रात को मैं प्रिपेयर कर कर बनाकर नेक्स्ट डे राजा या रानी को किसी को देनी है. ओके, शी इज एम्ब्रॉयडरिंग फ्लावर्स ऑन ए स्टेन गॉन फॉर द लवेस्ट ऑफ द क्वींस मेड ऑफ ऑनर. ओके, टू बियर एट द नेक्स्ट कोर्ट वॉल. क्लियर. दैट वुमेन एम्ब्रॉयडरिंग कर रही है, ठीक है, फ्लावर्स, वहाँ पे एम्ब्रॉयडरी कर रही है फ्लावर्स की. टू बियर द गॉन, दैट गॉन विच वन इज द लवेस्ट टू द क्वीन मेड्स ऑफ ऑनर, एंड दैट क्वीन बियर दैट गॉन एट द नेक्स्ट कोर्ट बाल. कोर्ट बाल मीन्स नेक्स्ट फंक्शन. ओके, इन अ बेड इन द कॉर्नर ऑफ द रूम हर लिटिल बॉय इज लाइंग इल. ओके, दैट वुमेन, दैट पुअर वुमेन, इस वुमन का जो मतलब इन अ बेड इन द कॉर्नर, उसके रूम में जो कॉर्नर में बेड है ऑफ द रूम, हर लिटिल बॉय इज लाइंग इल, उसका एक छोटा बेटा जो बच्चा है दैट इज लाइंग इल. ही हैज ए फीवर, दैट चाइल्ड हैज ए फीवर एंड इज आस्किंग हिज मदर टू गिव हिम ऑरेंजेस. ओके, and that child, that boy asking his mother to give him oranges. His mother has nothing to give him but river water, so he is crying. Okay, swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword hilt? My feet are fastened to this pedestal and I cannot move. Okay, so that mother give her child only nothing. Okay, that mother has nothing to give him but river water. Okay, कुछ नहीं दिया, only river water, and he is crying. That child is crying. Okay, then the happy prince said, swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you नॉट ब्रिंग हर द रूबी, मतलब क्या तुम मेरी जो तलवार है उससे उस रूबी को निकाल सकोगे, बिकॉज रूबी इज ऑल्सो वेरी प्रीसियस कॉस्टली स्टोन. सो माई फीट आर, मतलब कि जो मेरे पाँव हैं वो इस पेडिस्टल, मतलब कि वहाँ पे जो स्टैचू को जो नीचे जगह बनाई है वहाँ पर बंधे हुए हैं, एंड आई कैन नॉट मूव, और मैं मूव नहीं कर सकता. सो दैट्स वाई you bring her the ruby out of my sword. Clear? Clear? Now the next one. Okay. It's an interesting story, no? Okay. Now I am waited for in Egypt, said the swallow. Okay. I am waited for the Egypt, said the swallow. My friends are flying up and down the Nile and talking to the large lotus flowers. Soon they will go to sleep. Okay. I am waited for in Egypt. Now swallow said, I am waited for in Egypt. My friends, means swallow friends, are flying up and down the Nile. Nile is the name of a river, and talking to the large lotus flower. Soon they will go to sleep. The prince asked the swallow to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. The boy is so thirsty and the mother so sad, he said. Now the prince asked the swallow to stay with him for one night only, okay, and be his messenger, and to become his messenger to prince, happy prince messenger. And the boy is so thirsty, that boy is so thirsty, that woman's boy is so thirsty, and the mother is so sad, he said. Okay. Now I don't think I like boys, answered the swallow. I want to go to Egypt. Now the swallow said, I don't think I like boys. Okay. I don't like boys and I want to go to Egypt. Okay. That swallow want to go to Egypt. But the happy prince looked so sad that the little swallow was sorry. Okay. And now the happy prince looked very sad and the little swallow was sorry. It is very cold here, he said. That swallow said, it is very cold here. What he agreed to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. But that swallow said, I agree to stay here for one night and to become his messenger. Thank you, little swallow, said the prince. Okay. Thank you, little swallow. Then swallow picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roof of the town. Okay. Then after that swallow picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away, or उड़ गई, and with it in his beak, उसकी चोंच में वो मतलब रूबी था, and over the roof of the town. He passed by the cathedral tower where the white marble angles were sculptured. He passed by the palace and heard the sound of a dancing. A beautiful girl came out on the balcony with her lover. Okay, that now that time that swallow passed the cathedral tower, मतलब कि cathedral tower, मतलब वहाँ पे एक टावर है, उसको पास किया. Then she passed the palace and there he heard the sound of a dancing, and the beautiful girl came out on the balcony with her lover. I hope my dress will be ready in time for the state ball, she said. That girl, that beautiful girl said, I hope my dress will be ready, and I have ordered flowers to the embroidery for on it, but the seamsters are so lazy. But वो जो बनाने वाली है, that is so lazy. He passed over the river and saw the lanterns hanging on the mast of the ship. At last he came to the poor woman's house and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly on his bed, and the mother had fallen asleep. She was so tired in the hope and laid the great ruby on the table besides the woman's thimble. Then he flew gently round the bed, fanning the boy's forehead with his wings. How cool I feel, said the boy. I must be getting better, and he sank into a delicious slumber. Okay, then that swallow passed over the river, and then after came to the poor woman house. On there that boy tossing feverishly on his bed, मतलब वो अपने बेड पे टॉसिंग कर रहा था, and his mother fallen asleep because she was so tired, and he hopped means उछलना, and laid the great ruby on the table beside some, मतलब then उसने जो swallow ने वो जो रूबी दिया था प्रिंस ने उसके कमरे में ऐसे थ्रो कर दिया, फेंक दिया. ओके, clear? And how cool I feel on that time, said the boy. I must be getting better, कि अब मैं अच्छा फील कर रहा हूँ. Then the swallow flew back to the happy prince and told him what he had done. It is curious, he remarked, what I feel quite warm now, although it is so cold. Then that swallow वहाँ से मतलब उड़ गई कहाँ पर, हैप्पी प्रिंस के पास, और उससे कहा what he had done. It is curious, he remarked, but I feel quite warm now. but मैं इस वक्त बहुत अच्छा फील कर रही हूँ. That is because you have done a good action. Now the prince said that you feel good now or quite warm now because you have done a good action or good work. And the little swallow began to think and then fell asleep. Thinking always made him sleepy. When day broke, okay, always made him sleepy. So that's all for today, and next we discuss on the next time. Thank you very much.